Your transmission is acting like it has a mind of its own, and your speedometer is jumping all over the place, which usually means a tiny electrical signal is sending way too much power through your car's sensitive wiring. The code P0699 indicates that the powertrain control module has detected a high reference voltage on what the engineers call the C circuit. This specific circuit is almost always tied to your drivetrain components like the automatic transmission or the transfer case, and it usually carries a precise 5-volt signal to keep everything communicating properly. When this voltage spikes too high, the computer gets confused and cannot accurately measure things like pressure or temperature or speed, which leads to all sorts of strange behavior. You might find that your transmission refuses to shift into sport mode, or it gets stuck in two-wheel drive when you really need that four-wheel drive traction on a slippery road. In some cases, your odometer might even stop counting the miles you have driven. This headache is typically caused by a short to voltage somewhere in the wiring harness or a sensor that has internally failed and is pushing power back where it does not belong. You should start your diagnosis by looking up the exact location of sensor C for your specific make and model using a reliable service guide like AllData. Check every inch of the wiring for any signs of rubbing against the frame or burn marks from the exhaust, because a single bare wire touching a power source will trigger this code every time. If you have a digital multimeter, you should check for that 5-volt reference at the sensor connector with the key on, but the engine off. If you're seeing way more than 5 volts, then you know you have a short that needs to be tracked down and repaired. Be very careful to disconnect your computer before testing resistance, so you do not accidentally fry the entire brain of the car with your meter. If you find that all the wiring is perfect but the code persists, you might be looking at a faulty control module that needs to be reprogrammed or replaced by a specialist. This is a severe issue because it affects how your car puts power to the ground. So, if your shifts are getting violent or your speedo is dead, you should head to a shop before you lose a gear entirely.